Amateur Hour.
Now that you've created your new account and the game has been downloaded, you just open the League of Legends application from your desktop. You may get a patch upon opening the game for the first time. This is completely normal, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Also, the game itself updates on a weekly basis or sometimes every 2 weeks, so no rush there. Over to the right hand side, you'll see your option for the username and the password. Just bung them in, and this is where you'll be prompted if you've played mobile games before, things like that. If you haven't, then by all means select so, and you'll be put into the tutorial stages, which I'm going to go through very quickly for you now, but obviously a little bit of my own take on it, because Riot's tutorial is absolutely useless. When you start the tutorial, your League of Legends client will close and a new window will open. This happens every game because the client is different than the landing page that you will use. So don't get too worried if that happens. Again, that is normal. That happens every single game, no matter what game type you're playing. Basic tutorial itself starts off by showing you the enemy side of the map first, showing you the enemy nexus, followed by the enemy inhibitor. There should be a tower in that blank square and another tower here. Obviously the map is symmetrical, so on the blue side, which is your side, you have the same setup: a tower, another tower, your inhibitor, and then the nexus. Also on these two squares on both sides there would be a tower as well. To move around the game's pretty simple. Right click to move anywhere on the map. For the sake of the great tutorial Riot have set up, we're going to follow their instructions for now, and we're just going to move to different areas of the screen. This particular waypoint is in the Fog of War. Now, as you can see on the minimap, anywhere where there's a allied structure, nexus or inhibitor, or even a tower, you can see around that area. As an allied champion, you can see around an area as well. You also have a range. This particular waypoint is in the Fog of War, so if there was an enemy there, we wouldn't know until we move closer to it. As you can see, we can now view this area, and it also becomes visible on the minimap to any other allies as well. So we'll move over to the waypoint, and a couple of minions will spawn here. Minions will generally attack you if there is nothing else in the way. If there's a tower there that they are attacking first, an allied champion, or even allied minions, they will attack them. Generally, when you're standing still, you will automatically attack minions as well. However, I would strongly advise that anytime you are basic attacking, whether it's a tower, minion, enemy champion, anything, don't stand still. Especially if you're playing a ranged character. It's always important to click and move, because it makes you harder to hit.
My aim is steady.
So just kill these minions down pretty quickly. They do quite a bit of damage back to you at low level. The reason being you don't have your health yet and you need to scale up. We've got enough experience points, this is your experience bar, to gain a new skill. So we're going to go with W, which is Ash's Volley, and this allows you to fire multiple arrows in one go for a short mana cost and do damage to multiple enemies. Quite a strong skill. It's also good for when you're running away from enemy champions. Each game you will choose 2 summoner skills at the start of the game. You start off with Heal and Ghost. You can click to use the heal, or you can also just press D. And now it's asking us to recall to the base. Once you've recalled, you will gain all of your health back, all of your mana, and you can spend some gold. You can do that by pressing B or pressing the recall button. Obviously, all of your skills, your recall button, how to move, everything can be changed if you press your escape button on your keyboard. And this will bring up your hotkeys, your options, video, interface, everything. So you can change anything you want in here. Once you're in the base, you can click on the shop. The shopkeeper looks a bit different than normal shopkeepers, but I'm sure he'll do the job. For some reason in the tutorial, you are asked to buy Thornail. You can double left click on the item to buy it, you can right click on the item, or you can just select it and buy it from the right hand side. It's not a great item to buy on an ADC, which is what Ash is, but we'll cover roles in a new video. If you accidentally buy an item but haven't left the base yet, you can press undo and it will give you the gold back for that item. You can also use the P key to open the shop. Now, we are told that you can unlock the camera. Personally, I play with an unlocked camera. Most people do. I would not advise you to play with a lock screen. It makes it really difficult for you to move around the map and look around. as we just seen our ally Nunu pushing the enemy tower and gonna die because there was no minions there. See this on the minimap. We're getting asked to move into the lane and repel the attack. Now, minions spawn every 30 seconds for both teams. So generally, you need to make sure you're doing the best you can to burn down the enemy minions. However, the more gold you get, the more items you can get. And the only way to get gold is by killing enemies and killing minions. They're your two main forms of income. Now, minions are obviously a lot easier to kill than enemy champions. But you don't just get gold for killing the minion. You have to make sure that you get the last hit on the minion itself. So that doesn't mean attack constantly. You need to make sure you time your attacks so that you're the one who gets the killing blow on that minion. The more gold you get, the more items you can buy, and you're going to win the game. This circle around the tower is the tower's range. The tower will focus minions first, so no matter what, as long as there's minions in that circle, you will not get hit by the tower. Unless you attack an enemy champion within this range. You're standing in the circle range and you attack an enemy champion anywhere on the map, that tower will hit you. So as we push up, you'll see more minion waves spawning. By all means, you can use skills to clear minion waves, so don't be afraid to throw out a volley, get the minions' health a bit lower. But primarily, you need to focus on last hitting those minions. Enemy champion's running at us. As we can see, he doesn't have any defensive stats because he hasn't built any items. So it makes for a quite easy target, especially when he ran into a big wave of enemy minions, which helps us do a lot of damage back to him as well. Next objective on the particular map is the enemy inhibitor. Killing the enemy inhibitor will cause your wave to generate super minions for a short period of time. Now, super minions are a lot stronger, they have a lot more health, and generally, obviously, a lot better than standard minions. When attacking an enemy inhibitor, they will regenerate health over time. So, you have to be careful to make sure that you are applying pressure on that particular lane for the entire game. As you can see, we now have super minions coming into our lane. These, quite big, have a lot more health than normal minions. In fact, they've got twice my health right now. And at low level, they could probably kill an enemy champion without much effort. And finally on the map objective is going to be the enemy nexus. So again, we do need to focus on our minion killing at all times. However, if you have an opportunity to end the game, then you should focus on killing the nexus. But we're just going to burn that down as quickly as we can. It does have a lot of health, and again, like the inhibitor, the nexus can regenerate over time. Once the nexus is destroyed, the game will be won for the allied team. So that's the first tutorial for League of Legends. Next tutorial you will be asked to do is the battle training tutorial. So we can look this up. During the battle training tutorial, you will be taken into Champion Select. In the Champion Select screen, you will be given the choice of two different champions, Ashe and Garen, for tutorial purposes. As you can see, Ashe is the champion we have just played. She is the ranged champion. She is known as an attack damage carry, meaning that she has very little health but does a lot of damage. And generally, attack damage carry champions are ranged champions as well. We also have Garen. Garen is a melee champion, so he uses a sword, doesn't have any ranged attacks, and he is a tank champion, so he may be better suited to your personality, the way you play the game. For this tutorial, we're going to choose Garen, as we've already showed you Ashe a little bit. Start the game when you're ready, and it'll take us onto the main map that is played for League of Legends. This is called Summoner's Rift. Now, on Summoner's Rift, there is 3 lanes and a jungle area for each side of the map as well. In each lane, minions will spawn every 30 seconds, as advised in the earlier part of this video. And there will be 2 towers in each lane, followed by an inhibitor tower, an inhibitor itself, and then, of course, the enemy nexus. Q allows Garen to have an empowered basic attack. So, press Q, you will run faster for a short period of time, and the next attack you do will not only do increased damage, but it will also apply silence for a short period of time. If you hover over each skill, it will tell you exactly what it does, and therefore you know why you would purchase it. At the start of each game on Summoner's Rift, you begin with 500 gold. So if you open the shop, it will recommend starting items and essential items. Generally, you want to pick a Doran's item. These are your main starting items. For an ADC, it will be Doran's Blade. For a tank, it's going to be Doran's Shield. And if you're playing a mage or an ability power champion, as they're called, you will choose Doran's Ring. You've got a little bit of gold left over, so we're going to buy health potion as well. Pick which lane you're going to go in. Garen is the top laner, so we're going to send him up towards the top of the map. Now, I'm not going to go through this entire tutorial for you. I think you should be able to figure it out quite well yourself. A couple little things I wanted to note though. If your screen is unlocked, you can look anywhere on the map. As soon as you press the spacebar key, it will lock straight back onto your champion again. This area is called the jungle. This is top side jungle, and on the bottom side of the map you have a bottom side jungle as well. In each lane there will be bushes. These are spread out throughout the map. If you're standing in a bush, you cannot be seen by an enemy champion unless you are attacking or they have somebody in the bush themselves. Also, you will start with a trinket ward, which is bound to your number 4 key by default. If you put a trinket in a bush, then you can see everything that is in that bush. So again, we're going to try focus on the last hit in the minions. That applies regardless of what champion you're playing. Obviously there's 2 enemy champions in this lane who will try to attack you when you are trying to kill minions. So don't be afraid to trade back a little bit, but your main focus should be killing minions. I'm going to cycle through the game pretty quickly for you here, so kill a minion as quick as you can. Make sure you're harassing the enemy champions as well, but don't go too far past your own minion line because you will then start getting damage from enemy minions. Once you hit level 2, you will unlock a new skill. You can put a point in either W or E. For Garen, I would recommend E, as it's a good area of effect skill. He spins around in a circle and will damage anything he touches. Once you think you're safe, you can press your recall button, and it takes 8 seconds to recall. Now that we're back in the base, we can spend the money that we've earned, buy a couple more items. Obviously, it does recommend items for you. For Garen, it's going to recommend us a Phage. Phage is a really good off-tank item, so it gives you a little bit of damage, but a little bit of health as well. I'm going to buy the little part of it because we can't afford the entire item yet, and run back up to the top lane. Now, rather, like I said, than go through the entire game for you, I will let you proceed with this game. You know how to finish the game now. Focus on killing minions, killing towers, and then proceed down the lane, kill the inhibitor, kill the last 2 towers, then the Nexus, and you will win. Don't be afraid to move lanes. Once your tower has been taken, you can go to a different lane and help your allied champions take that tower as well. There's a lot more that we need to cover, but that will come up in the next video. For now, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. If you do have any questions, please post them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you very much for your time. See you later, guys.